Everyone is asking the same question right now. Has Grok 5 finally beaten ChatGPT? Some people are already canceling their subscriptions, while others claim the new model is expensive hype. So I stopped reading opinions and I started running real tests. On one side, we have the incumbent, the tool that started this entire cycle, built by OpenAI. On the other side, we have the heavily backed challenger, Grok 5, powered by xAI, and directly integrated into X. This comparison table shows the baseline financial stakes. ChatGPT Plus will cost you $20 a month, while the X Premium tier required for Grok sits slightly lower at $16 a month. To figure out exactly where your money should go, we are throwing out synthetic benchmarks and marketing claims. Instead, we ran 10 strict real-world productivity challenges. We tested the messy, everyday tasks you actually do: writing emails, building code, doing research, and fixing bugs. This quadrant chart plots the core dilemma you face as a user. The horizontal axis measures pedagogy and depth, how well the AI explains its answers. The vertical axis measures speed and recency, how fast it works and how fresh its data is. We aren't looking for a universally superior intelligence. We are looking for the specific model that clicks into your personal daily workflow. Round 1 tested general knowledge. I gave both models questions requiring heavy logic across science, history, and economics. Both got the facts right, but their methods diverged immediately. ChatGPT walked through the answers step by step, taking on the tone of a professor explaining a concept. Grok moved much faster, pulling in live, hyper-recent data straight from the web. Acting like a high-speed search engine with a brain, Grok takes the point for general knowledge. Round 2 tested writing. I prompted them for YouTube scripts, business emails, and a motivational speech. Grok defaults to direct, corporate efficiency. It gets the point across quickly. ChatGPT produces output that feels natural, organized, and emotionally resonant. Returning to our quadrant chart, the split is clear. ChatGPT lands heavily on the right side for depth, while Grok shoots up the vertical axis for speed and live data. Because professional writing often requires connecting with real humans, ChatGPT takes the point for round 2. The trade-off is set. If you need a deep understanding of why a concept works, Grok leaves you short on details. But if you need today's live data instantly, ChatGPT slows your workflow down. Round 3 moved into heavy-duty logic. I asked both to build a calculator app from scratch and fix bugs inside a block of broken code. This feature checklist compares their outputs. Grok generates working code almost instantly, checking the first box, but leaves explanation boxes blank. ChatGPT writes the code, breaks down the logic behind every decision, and offers unprompted improvements. All 3 boxes checked. For thoroughness, ChatGPT takes the coding point. The right choice here depends entirely on your skill level. Grok is perfect for veteran engineers who just need quick, raw output. ChatGPT is essential for beginners who still need to learn the logic behind the code. Before we look at the next test, we have to talk about a major factor that alters this entire competition. Every single user notices it within 5 minutes: speed. Over dozens of identical daily prompts, ranging from simple math to complex reasoning, Grok finishes generating text significantly faster than ChatGPT. When your day involves querying an AI 50 times, seconds compound. Grok wins the speed round. Round 5 tested long-form creativity. I had them write a sci-fi story and pitch a startup. Grok supplies chaotic, unexpected, and energetic ideas. It provides a massive initial spark. ChatGPT takes those same types of prompts and builds actual narrative structure, giving characters depth and pacing the story naturally. This effort versus impact matrix illustrates the hidden cost. Because Grok's creative outputs are so unstructured, they land in the high human effort quadrant for editing. ChatGPT structured outputs require far less human intervention. Therefore, ChatGPT takes the point for creativity. Grok excels at handing you a raw, immediate spark. ChatGPT does the heavy lifting required to turn that spark into a structure actually worth reading. At halftime, ChatGPT leads 3-2. But that raw score is completely irrelevant to your wallet. The true value of these platforms is entirely dictated by who is sitting at the keyboard. This decision tree maps your exact recommendation. What is your primary goal? If you're a student, writer, or beginner coder, you're a learner requiring pedagogy and structure. Subscribe to ChatGPT. If you're an experienced developer or executive, you're an optimizer needing speed. Subscribe to Grok. Stop searching for an inherently smarter AI. Audit your own workflow, identify your proficiency level, and pay for the tool that actually covers your blind spots. Look at the tasks you do every day. Based on your specific workflow, are you a learner or an optimizer? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. ChatGPT holds the lead now, but the next 5 rounds evaluate completely different categories: image analysis, real-time research, and advanced math. And one hidden challenge that neither model was prepared for. The gap between these tools closes incredibly fast in the second half, and the final verdict challenges everything we've established so far. See you in part 2. We have reached a point where baseline fluency is a commodity. At a glance, the major AI models can all write coherent prose and summarize information with a similar level of polish. Because that gap in raw intelligence has narrowed, choosing your primary tool is no longer a matter of finding the one smartest model. Most of us are only going to pay for one premium subscription. That means you need to know which interface actually removes the most friction from your specific 9-to-5. The choice comes down to a clear split in how you work. Do you prioritize deep work utility, or do you prioritize the velocity of real-time data? We evaluate this using a simple map. The vertical axis is your need for live, up-to-the-minute information. The horizontal axis is your need for deep context and reasoning. Plotting your daily tasks here reveals exactly where the models differ. Choosing a model that doesn't match your pace doesn't just waste $20 a month. It adds a layer of manual effort to everything you try to automate. To see this in practice, let's look at how both models handle dense visual data. Grok is fast. It identifies objects almost immediately, delivering information as a surface-level itemized list. ChatGPT extracts relational context, explaining how different elements in the image influence one another. There is a trade-off here. ChatGPT's thoroughness results in a longer response that requires more of your attention to read through. Grok's faster, list-based output is easier to skim, but it forces you to spend your own time connecting the dots between the items it identified. When an AI skips that relational context, the heavy lifting of synthesis is pushed entirely back onto your own shoulders. This pattern continues into daily productivity tasks, like organizing a weekly schedule or drafting a series of professional emails. Both models can follow these instructions and provide accurate results, but the utility changes based on what we call architectural structure. ChatGPT tends to organize its responses into sequential, actionable steps without being asked. It builds a framework you can use immediately. Grok fulfills the prompt, but the information often arrives in unorganized blocks that require further sorting. This lack of structure creates friction. You spend more time writing follow-up prompts just to get the information into a usable format. A tool that truly assists your workflow needs to anticipate your next logical step, not just react to the current one. Then there is the question of pure reasoning. We tested both models on complex logic and math problems without allowing them to access the web. This matters for anyone using AI for engineering calculations or high-stakes data analysis, where the how is just as important as the what. In these tests, Grok often acts as a black box. It jumps directly to a final answer, but it has a higher tendency to hide errors within that final result. ChatGPT defaults to showing its work. It displays the step-by-step mathematical logic it used to reach the conclusion. In technical fields, a confident answer without a visible path to reach it is a risk. If you can't audit the logic, you can't fully trust the output. However, there is one specific environment where that deep, slow, meticulous reasoning is entirely secondary to pure, raw speed. Grok has a structural advantage when it comes to live data. It is built to integrate with real-time information and global sentiment as events unfold. ChatGPT is notably slower here. It relies on trading data that is months old, or uses web search plugins that take several seconds to crawl the internet. If you are reacting to a breaking technology announcement or tracking a sudden shift in the markets, Grok provides the answer while ChatGPT is still searching. In industries that move by the minute, relying on delayed data for situational awareness is often the same as being wrong. Feature lists only tell half the story. The real question is how these capabilities map to your specific role. Let's bring back our quadrant map to see where you sit. If your daily work is defined by high real-time velocity, like a trader or a journalist, Grok 5 is the tool that aligns with that tempo. If your success depends on being the first to know about a breaking headline, Grok is the correct investment. But if your work requires deep context and complex reasoning, the student, the coder, and the creative professional will find more value in the ChatGPT ecosystem. If you are summarizing technical papers or building workflows from scratch, ChatGPT's organizational logic will save you more time. There isn't a single winner that covers every use case. Your optimal AI is dictated by the operational tempo of your profession. Grok 5 is the first model to provide a truly viable alternative to the ChatGPT ecosystem, matching it in fluency while exceeding it in speed. Even with that speed, ChatGPT remains the more comprehensive tool for general, day-to-day usability. For the majority of users who need a model that can reason, organize, and explain its work, ChatGPT's ability to reduce daily friction makes it the mandatory subscription.
If this video saved you time, subscribe to the Productivity Labs for the smartest AI updates and comparisons. See you in the next one.